the presentation going to make sense this time?
Yes. So first thing I want to ask, raise your hand if you were here last year and saw our presentation.
Crowd
Okay,
from the right
so
side.
keep your hand up if you used the technique.
That's crazy.
That's like 100% conversion.
Too bad you didn't charge us for that, right?
I know. I'll be a
That was a great
millionaire.
presentation.
My name is Chris Waldron. Huh? I mean, it could be. It works for me, so whatever gets me in and out quicker, I'm in for. My name is Chris Waldron. I'm Lighthouse on Fast Lane Forum. I actually wasn't supposed to be here because I just had a baby 2.5 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You don't show it
It was a tough labor. I decided to come, last minute. Actually, the reason I came is because Bobby called me a pussy over Skype, and then sent me a link for a plane ticket. So you can thank Bobby, or you can tell him he's later. What I'm going to be going over this year is something that's applicable for everybody. So everybody has a product or service you need to sell, and if you don't, you know something that's of value to somebody else. So the things that you present on here, you can probably sell. Someone can use something you know somewhere, whether it's something you know with your job or not. It's actually what I'm doing right now because I was having the baby. I can't be involved in a bigger project that I was working on, so I decided to just start direct selling a service, which is point-to-point website migration. So, you have a WordPress site on a host, you hate them, you come hire me, $150, $200, and I'll move that site for you. So I figured this process, and like anything on the web, I've figured out that if you don't know it, spend some time, AdWords, we're gonna go over and stuff like that. Spend some time, figure it out, work on being the best at it. Let's see if I can, there's my baby, by the way. I'm a proud father.
I like how you photoshopped your face over here.
Thought it was cuter. All right. So, who does this apply to? Reservation and travel industry. Russ, Kenrick with the, his trips. Lead-based sales. CAC's business is, another example. Service businesses. Anything that essentially that you need a lead for, that you need to get somebody's name and number, you need to get somebody's email to follow up. It doesn't work as well for product sales. So, iron workers boots. This process that I'm going to show you doesn't work as well for that because what you're essentially doing is capturing leads, not selling products. So what is direct lead generation? Lead generation obviously is, generating leads for your business. Direct lead generation is when you're collecting them yourself. So you're going and getting them straight from the customer. The advantage to that is you have less junk leads, you have less filler content. MJ used the example Mickey Mouse he got all the time when he had his limos business. Because nobody is selling them to you, your lead quality is always high because you're getting that straight from the customer. They obviously want something from you and they want to hear from you. So you don't have to deal with the back and forth of following up a lead, or if anybody's seen Glenn Ross, the movie, those guys trying to hard sell real estate investments and stuff like that nobody wants to deal with. It's a pain in the ass. The nice thing about going direct is they obviously, need your service or your product, and obviously it's cheaper. There's no margin on top of it. You're not paying for a bunch of shit. The method that we're using to get this is paid advertising, so pay-per-click. What is it? You guys have all used Google, obviously. The ads that show up on the top of the search engine result page and on the side, that's pay-per-click advertising. It's paid on performance, so you don't pay per amount of views you get. You only pay when somebody clicks through, your ad. I'm blasting through this stuff kind of quick because I'm very complicated, so if it gets too technical, let me know. I'm trying to just push through it, and then if you guys have additional questions later, since we're so behind, you can certainly find me. The drunker I am, the worse the information, so catch me early. What do you need to do this? So this is the most important part. So I wanted to make it applicable for everybody. Not all of you guys have websites, not all of you guys have the type of websites that you can build a lead generation form on. So if you do, that's great. It's great for keeping a part of the brand. Russ can do it on his site. It's great. If you don't, and say you don't have a business yet, but you have something that you know that you want to sell, there's hosted platforms like woofoo.com, and there's quite a few others that will let you build a lead capture form or a form for anything, without having to have your own page. You can direct your advertising direct to those pages that you create. So it's cheap. I don't know, it might even be free. I have no idea. I never use it because I have my own site. You need an account. That's nice. I left a few few words there. You need an account with Google AdWords, Bing Ads. Bing Ads has been really shitty for me. My $100 credit with them lasted, 4 months. So they just don't have near the volume. So focus on AdWords. You're going to get the most amount of volume for the amount of work that you have to put in. If you want to move to other platforms, Bing Ads and a lot of the other platforms will let you import your Google AdWords campaigns directly into it, so you don't have to do the work twice. It's a huge advantage because it can get very, very complicated. And obviously you have to have something to actually sell that's valuable, whether it be information, a service, whatever, the product. So where do I start? So this is where I start getting a little technical, but like I said, if I need to break it down, let me know. Research your marketing customers. Okay, so I'm going to use CAC's business as an example. He'd need to go on Google's keyword tool, which most of you have probably seen or used, and figure out what it is his customers are searching that would lead to his business. Most likely, it could be how do I get cheaper energy, or my energy bill is too high. Okay, you want to show up. He could even advertise under what's the main power company down there?
Reliant in Houston area, but
Reliant.
you got to
So-
separate the residential from the commercial here for me.
Well, right. So I'm just using that as an example. So Reliant, or in Virginia, it's Dominion Power. So maybe I'm looking for Dominion Power's site, and I'm typing in Dominion to look for their site, because nobody types in Dominion.com anymore. They just type it in Google and click the first link. He can advertise there. Hey, you want to lower your bill? Do you want to lower your energy costs? So the point there is to define what it is they're using to search. They're not always going to be looking directly for your product or service. They might be looking for something that's an accessory of it that you want to show up for, and you want to grab that lead, and provide value to that customer. Define a price that's of high value to your customers. What that means, my main competitor for website migrations, their cheapest website migration for a very, very tiny site is $400. Well, I think that's excessive. So I come in at about half that. Do I want to compete on price? No, but this is something that takes me 10 to 20 minutes to do for the most part, and customers like that. A lot of customers come to me because they say that I'm the small guy. They like dealing with somebody like that, versus a high-priced, corporate entity. Define the information that you need from your customers. So what's the minimal amount of information Kyle would need from a customer to call him back? Is it a phone number? Do I first need to know whether you're residential or commercial? Do I need to know, what company you're with? Don't overdo it. Get the minimal amount of information, whatever's easiest for your customer to fill out, since they're on the internet. If it's a long form, nobody wants to fill it out. It's like homework. So define the minimal amount of information you need. You're going to follow up with them later and get better details anyways. And then define your sales funnel. That's really not something you have to do first necessarily, but it does help if you kind of know your process, how you're going to sell that to that product, or to that lead after. So then you build your landing page. Like I said, you need minimal data. Don't do this long form bullshit. Don't have them fill out their whole life story. Get your minimal amount of information. Do not require a phone number, because that actually turns people off. Some people just like email. Email is a minimum. So on my lead form, I have email as required, I have phone number there, and then I have a selection, what would you rather be contacted by, email or phone? So the people I know already, do you want me to call you on the phone, or do you want me to email back and forth with you? It helps the customer, it helps me understand, and it's a click of the button for them. Focus the page on buy keywords, I already mentioned that. creating separate landing pages for each keyword group. So the point here is, Woofu, if you're doing it on your own site, is to not have a single landing page for, every piece of the puzzle, because it's just not going to be as relevant. So, for instance, website migrations. Not everybody types website migrations. I mean, that's a weird way to say it, even though that's the top keyword. Some people type in Google, move my site. So I developed a separate landing page that says, do you need me to move your site? So people connect with that a lot better. It's relevancy. You want to be very relevant. It provides a much higher conversion rate. Make it easy, simple to complete. I already mentioned that. Add trust factors. So past customers, my first 10 customers, I said, hey, they're like, you're awesome. I'm like, okay, well, can we write something up for that I can display under the call to action, the submit button. I also have on there the base price. So price is starting from $50. So I'm already answering questions that make it easier for people, like, oh, I'm not going to submit my data, and then this guy's going to come back and be like, it's $6,000 to move my website. I'm telling them it's cheap, it's fast. Here's all my customers, they love what I do. It results in a higher, like I said, a higher conversion. Build your pay-per-click campaign. The most important part with AdWords, your cost is dependent on your quality score. Your quality score is something that shows up in AdWords. It's a number 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and it's a gauge of relevancy. So if you have a 10 quality score, you're going to be paying the least amount per click, and you're going to have a much higher ranking in terms of where you're coming up when someone searches for the ads. So they rank their ads just like they rank their organic searches. So your quality score is based on your click-through rate and the account history's click-through rate. So if I have website migrations and move my website and all the different variations in there, that's going to water down my click-through rate, because people are searching for things and they're going to a page that's not exactly relevant, backing out, and in the end, I moved my quality score from a 4 to a 7, and I went from paying $3.50 a click to, I think it was 35 cents a click. So a major reduction in cost when I started separating it out and focusing on getting that click-through rate and that relevancy up.
That's called quality score?
Quality score. There's tons of information online because it's like the main thing in AdWords. Bid for position 1 only. The reason I say that is the same thing. If you're bidding and you're like, oh, well, I only have 10 cents a click, I want to make my $100 AdWords voucher go as long as possible. The problem is that you're going to be showing up number 7 and no one's ever going to click on it. So your click-through rate's going to be dismal. And you're going to just, when someone finally does click on it, it's going to be someone that's looking for the 10th ad, and that's going to cost you $4. And most likely it's going to be worthless. And then test. That goes into a whole nother thing. That's, keep testing. Oh, I forgot. 5 ads per keyword group. A lot of people will just do 1 ad per group. Make multiple variations. You don't know what is a good ad. You might, but the best thing always is to test. Sometimes being a dick in the ad works. I'm the best, everybody else sucks. That all of a sudden has the highest. That comes from being arrogant too, but it works. It works better than being corporate and dry. Oh, we'll move your website, click here. It just doesn't work. And then sell.
Your
So
marketing thing on that stuff? Going back to your marketing, I think if you're selling to people like us, and I would say what I've seen from 25 to 40, people like a little more edge on their marketing now. I think they like to be told a little bit what to do.
Yeah.
If you're arrogant without being a jerk, it comes across.
you have a hard time doing that.
For some reason, it seems to resonate. For me, like when I read something, and somebody's a little more curt and a little pushy, but still a little bit funny at the same time. It's kind of like that, I don't know, there's not a girl, like a cocky guy at the club. He was kind of a nice dude, but he's got a heart of gold, but he's a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
And I've seen that works for me. When somebody says, "Hey, are you?" No, not that club.
That worked for you. The Kids at the club love you. Right, so but that's what I mean. So with the ads I write, it's not so dry. I mean, I still try to add the keyword in there because it helps with the quality score, but I try to write it as I'm talking to you. Like someone mentioned, I need to move my site, what do I do? So I try to write my ads like I'm talking to a person. People like that, you connect with it. You're gonna go to that first because it's interesting versus, a display ad, which people are blind to that now. It's just noise.
Yeah, just to add to that, if all you guys have read MJ's book, or probably everyone has, remember how he started out the book?
Speak up.
He starts out the book with basically like you're sitting down and having a cup of coffee or something. I think that was the way he started the book. If you read same thing, like he does a really good job connecting you immediately to the people who book with him. He's just talking with you. And if you read a lot of books, a lot of the guys who are talking to you on blogs and books and things like that, they tried so hard to be an expert. They're like promoting themselves to you, projecting themselves to you. Instead of talking with you and teaching you. And it's you'll notice, at least the way I learn, if someone's like trying to drill something at me, I don't really learn. But if you're the same way ads work, the same way all that stuff works, if you're basically talking to someone like you were talking to them, it sells you a lot better.
Yeah. So on selling, minimize your process. People, especially, in my case for services, people don't really want to deal with it. They want me to handle it. So why drag them through the mud, instead of just getting the information I need, having them pay me doing the service, and then it's done. People love that. It's quick, it's in and out. Make a system out of it. I mentioned that earlier. The more systematized it is, the easier it is to follow. The easier it is to hand it off, when now you're getting so many leads that you need to hire a salesperson. It's easier to be like, here's what the information we need, here's the pricing ranges, pass it along and get it done. And it's easier to build while you're doing it versus trying to figure it out later. Results. So I've been doing it for a few months. Right now I'm at a 1-to-6 ratio, so $1 in, $6 out net. Which that's just for the first level. So these customers have a much higher lifetime value, basically because once I talk to them, they all of a sudden realize like, oh, you can do this. Oh, you can do this. Oh, can I have this done? I'm like, sure, whatever. We'll do it all. So.
Just need to make sure I understand. $1 of income, $6 of expenses.
No, $1 spent.
Okay.
Every $1 spent in AdWords, $6 net on the back end for your first level. No lifetime value. Sorry about that. I had all these notes written, and then Bobby said that was stupid to delete it all, so I made it too short.
Chapter 1 of your novel.
Yeah.
Per page.
Didn't work out. Further opportunities. So like I said, now, once I do one service for them, they realize that, and part of the thing too that helps is that, people will call me and they'll talk about it and they won't even realize that they need more help. And they'll be like, wow, you're really smart. Can you do all this too? Or what do you think about this? New product ideas. I get a lot of ideas. So, people will come and say, hey, I'm moving my site because this X, company is shutting down because they ran out of money. Oh, well, let me go dig that up. You guys have 1,000 customers in this business. Where are all those customers going that are paying, $300 a month? Why not fill that need? Someone obviously has a new business. Why not create a new product, and get all those customers from, their existing business. With any lead, if it's a thing where you don't have a product or service and you're trying to sell something, as you're going through it, it's a helpful way to find new things to do. Maybe a new project that you're going to start on, maybe a new fast lane venture. So I don't actually know what my next slide is. Oh, so this is my landing page. This has been revised. This has been revised quite a few times. This one works great. It's ugly as shit, and I know that, but it converts, pretty well. 20%, I think, on my pay-per-click stuff. You can see it. It's online on chriswaldron.com, or you cannot go on there because it's a really, odd site. But, I'll be adding services pages, but I don't even have time right now because I'm getting so many leads in to fill them out. Granted, this was something that I was only going to do for 2 months, just while I had to deal with being up with the baby all night. Now it's turned into like a full-time deal. And then one other quick thing, so that's kind of wraps that up. So like I said, I'm trying to push through it real quick since we're behind. If you guys have questions or really want to actually figure out what I'm talking about, you can come talk to me later. The other thing really quick I want to mention, a friend of mine in LA just built a app in a company, and it's actually really relevant. I see the question come up all the time for those of you that do keyword stuff and you want to track your ranks in Google and you're doing your SEO stuff. A lot of people are always like, hey, how do I track my rank? What do I use? He has this app that he built called SERP Tracker. You add your keywords in, you add your site, and every day it updates it for you. So every day you know exactly where you rank, and it'll track it, and it'll show a graph. It's super easy way to keep tabs on how you're doing in the search engines. It's extremely cheap, and it's on north.com. I think you can find it on either one. That's the direct link right there for SERP Tracker. What's that?
Is that a typo?
No. It's North with 2 R's.
Okay. You said it's an app?
Yeah, well, it's a hosted app, so it's a website. So you just log in every day, and you can see where you rank that day.
Not a phone app.
It's not a phone app. It actually just came out of beta. He's still doing it. So you'll see it being, if you use it, it's being modified constantly because he's really trying to.
YouTube videos by any chance?
Huh?
Does it track videos by any chance?
I don't know. You can get on. There's a free account. You can do like 10 keywords. You can try it. I have no idea. I don't have any YouTube videos I'm tracking. So you can get on there and try it out. Start a free account. It's a super cool. It's a super cool app. I get that question all the time, so I figured it's relevant for you guys. So just poke that out there.
Do you mind it being on the fast lane?
No, you can put it on there. Yeah, it's his application. I don't make any money off of it, but it's very used. Am I out of time now?
Yeah.
Questions you can get. Come find me later, unless someone has something that they're gonna
Maybe
forget.
before he starts drinking.
Yeah.